Alright guys, and we're back. So, last place we were at was level 17, standing in, well, near Heidel. Let's see if we can get 50 today, because 50 is, I feel, an excellent level to be at. It's a level where you can do a lot. So, quick refresher. We have terrible gear. A bear's ring, a rosar blade, rebar gloves, and a black hornbow. However, luckily for us, our family funds have come in. And we're also not going to put our donkey into harm's way, we'll just leave it over here. And the family funds coming in means we have a few million extra silver to play with. Also, overnight fishing means we've got a few other extra million silver. Alrighty, so we can kill these things. In which case, let's do it in an efficient manner. My pets aren't going to do anything because they're not fed. So let's make a quick exception, honestly. We will go down to mount, and we will... Oi! These guys need to stop bugging me. Alrighty, take 2. So realistically I should have just done this on my ults, but I mean... we will buy 15 of them. That should be enough to keep all my pets nice and happy. So now that we've used all these, and the pets are active again, so as you can see, it's rather difficult for me to kill these because my gear is actually so bad. For most new players, they should have been able to buy at least a few things by now that could help them. There we go, level up. And level ups are pretty important because a level up, so let's close that actually. A level up gives you accuracy, and having more accuracy means you can hit units that are higher level than you. So let's divider. Can't put my next level into Carver for a few levels. There you can see they're falling pretty easily now. What about Rising Storm? When's the next level? It's Dragon Bite. Rising Storm level 24. So for now we'll just put a point into Dragon Bite. So as a Musa, you've got a few main skills pre-awakening. You've got Carver, which is this skill where I kind of slice at them after the auto attack with a sort of blue movement. You've got Dragon Bite, which is the one I just used. The forward stab. You've got Rising Storm, which is that. You've got my phone going off, which was that sound. And then you've got Divider. If you need health, you'll use Divider. So honestly, what I should be doing is after this, we'll go back to the city. We'll use the money from House Fame and the extra million from fishing overnight. And we'll use that to buy a few small gear upgrades. Now, they're not going to be huge gear upgrades, but they will be upgrades. But for now, we're just going to peacefully level at the Rebel supply over here. And honestly, the only reason I'm not popping my experience buffs, because I do have them, is because if I do so, I don't get to use them once I've upgraded my gear in a bit, which should drastically improve the leveling speed. Also, there's a brand new event that's starting today, which will really help this character a lot because it gives you every 3 days you're getting 13 million silver worth of enhancement materials, which for a new player, you really have two options. You can sell the enhancement materials. Also, I really shouldn't be wasting my time killing these singletons here. They're just not worth it. As a new player, normally you don't want to sell enhancement materials just because enhancement materials are super important to everyone, especially the ones that offer the best bang for your buck, the 3-day one, which is, I believe it's a resplendent chest. It offers 10 memory fragments, and I want to say it's a concentrated of each type. Now, obviously, this event won't be available for all players. If you're watching this a few weeks from now, then the event probably won't be available. But events like this are available all the time, and it kind of makes up for the fact that I'm not as active on this character as a normal player might be. So I will try to take advantage of that event to just earn a bit of extra funds for this character to kind of get him going, because every 3 days being able to earn about 13-14 million, random otter called Veronica, is fairly decent amount. 14 million is just under the price of a plus 15 green weapon. And plus 15 green weapons are the important things you want to focus on when heading to level 56. So just kill that. So I actually just had an argument in Discord, honestly, about what you should be upgrading things with. Now, his argument was that you shouldn't spend money on accessories past the Osco set. You shouldn't spend money on green gear past like prior duo, because it's a waste of money because you're going to be replacing that gear eventually. He says that Tree Spirit Belt was a waste of time, among other things. Now, I disagree with this because, and I've got a good reason for it, and that good reason is not the reason I'm on the ground right there. The reason I disagree with that is because at a certain point, getting gear is fairly difficult, and upgrading gear is fairly difficult as well. And also, this game is entirely about silver. Yes, you want to use the silver to get gear, but it is entirely about efficiently collecting and then efficiently converting that silver into better gear. If you can convert, for example, 450 million silver into an extra 20 AP, then if you only have the option to convert an extra 450 million silver into 15 AP, obviously 20 AP is the better option. Now, there are a few caveats, but because you can usually sell almost all pieces of gear back to the marketplace, with the exception of Tet blue weapons, like the Liberto and the Awakening weapon, I don't really consider it a loss to grab gear that you will eventually replace. Especially because eventually could be a very, very long time. You cannot just treat boss gear as if it grows on trees. For some pieces of boss gear, they're pretty easy to get. If you just want to get, for example, your Zarka or your Bags, those are fairly easy to get. Currently, Muskins and Gias are both just sitting on the market too, although I wouldn't get Gias because the Heavy helmet, or however you spell it, or say it rather, is far better. But for stuff like Muskins, for Bags, for Zarka, they're not that difficult to get. But for stuff such as your Dandelion, for certain classes, getting the Nuver or Kutum, especially the Kutum, and getting proper accessories late game is very difficult to buy. You cannot just say, okay, today's the day that I'm going to get my Zarka. I've got however much money it's going to cost. If you're buying it unupgraded, I've got 95 million. If you're buying it at a try, I've got 450 million. You need to have the money to buy it, and you need to have the luck to be able to buy it, unless you have significantly more money, in which case you can pre-order it. But then pre-ordering is not a very efficient use of money at times because, well, you're spending a lot more than the item is worth according to the marketplace, which is the price you could get it at if you got lucky. Or if you enhance it yourself and don't get super unlucky. Enhancement, the price is usually, for accessories at least, the price is usually 3 times the price of the base item. And that compounds itself every time it goes up. So 3 times for a pry. I want to say it's 9 times for a duo, something like that. which gives you enough for one failure with the accessory. So you'll fail, and then you'll succeed on the second try. It'll use up another accessory because you lost one accessory when you failed, and well, you lost two when you failed the first time, and you lose one to succeed the second time. But in the end, it lets you fail every second accessory. So if you succeed on your first ring, fail the second ring, but succeed on the third try for your to get the next second ring. I'm being a little unclear. Let me try and organize my thoughts here. So basically, as long as you're succeeding every second try, you will break even on accessories if you were buying them versus enhancing them. If you succeed on every try, or succeed 2 out of every 3 tries, then you will earn money. If you fail more than every second try, so more than 50% of your enhancements are failures, then you're going to lose money. Gear is somewhat similar in that generally if you enhance your own gear, up to green, you can expect to make money because green is so easy to enhance. Even if you lose money, you're not going to be losing too much. But boss gear is its own beast. Boss gear is incredibly difficult to properly raise, and oh my god, these cherry blossoms are beautiful. Oh my god. Can you imagine this if I had the game on high settings? I don't right now just because my computer would start yelling at me and possibly self-combust. But anyways, what was I saying? But boss gear is really its own beast. It is incredibly difficult to upgrade, especially to plus 15. Generally, you can expect to spend a lot more upgrading boss gear than you'll make back if you tried to sell it. And really, just sniping boss gear is your best idea. But because of that, boss gear is hard to snipe, especially at levels that are decent, like upgraded levels. So in the end, you kind of want to... what was I doing? All right, I need to claim my money. In the end, you want to snipe all your boss gear, but generally, because you won't get a chance to do that for most, you will need to enhance a lot of your own. So there we go. That's pretty much as much money as I made over the last 2 days. I would have made more if I'd AFK fished on this character, but for the first few days, most newbies don't really know too much about AFKing. They're fairly lost, so I'm not going to do that for a little while longer. But now that I've got about 2 million silver to play with. I should have sent that to my... Alright, I've got another one saved up. 1 second. We will receive all of it. So that's a decent amount, and if I look at my gear quickly here, let's see what the needed upgrades are. Okay, so first off, I could use some weapon stones for my Rosar Blade. Currently I only have armor stones. Secondly, I could use a ring and a necklace. I just got a Hesus necklace, but I don't want to use a Hesus necklace because Hesus necklace is pretty bad. So, necklace. Tet necklace of good deeds. I've only had 1.8 billion, and a huge need for accuracy. Well, I suppose I'm Musa. I do have a huge need for accuracy. Let's see if we can find a good bears. There we go. Pry bears. Let's just buy one of those. Actually, 1 second. If I search bears, are there duos? Yes, but at that price, I'm not sure if it's entirely worth it. It's an extra 2 AP, but there's better. Like I was saying earlier, you want to efficiently spend your silver. So, yes, I could get an extra 2 AP for that duo bears, but eventually I'm going to be upgrading bears to the Oscar set, and that's going to be fairly soon. So instead of spending that extra 500,000, what I can simply do is spend that on a ring and 2 earrings. And that will get me much better upgrades than just doing that. And even better probably would be a better Rosar Blade. If I buy some weapon stones, oops, so I'll buy 2 more, so 3 in total. That will let me enhance this Rosar Blade. So, oops, take that out of there. So when enhancing, up to +7 for a weapon is totally free. You cannot fail. There we go. That's a decent gain in strength. I've got 171 silver, 171,000 silver remaining. I technically should have another million to spend, so even though I spent an extra 250k, let's get those cheap earrings. So the cheap ones are the bears. Are there any good ones? 2 AP versus 3 AP. We'll just get a pair of the cheapies. Now a ring. For rings, so this is a little special. For a ring, instead of getting another bear's ring, what I should probably buy is a blue coral ring, because it gives significantly more AP. Well, let's look at the prices for bear's rings. So pry bears, 3 AP. Yeah, we'll just get a blue coral, a single blue coral. And that should be good for accessories. We'll buy, I think, 3 more enhancement stones. No, 2 more weapon stones. And there we go. That's 2 million silver all used up just like that. It goes away pretty quickly, doesn't it? Did I only buy 1, or did I buy an armor stone? That's awkward. Either way, whatever. I could use armor stones as well, so. Alright, so our Rosar Blade's getting stronger. We can equip both of these earrings, and we can equip the blue coral ring. Let's put a few of the other items on the marketplace, and then we can skip this boring stuff and go back to the fun stuff. Grinding. That goes for minimum. Might as well enter the maple timber for now, because it'll sell at max. Blackstone armor. I'm tempted to sell this to fund my development, because I don't plan to buy armor. So let's just sell this. Make some money for this character. Alrighty, there we go. So, donkeys have a terrible turning radius, but we are significantly stronger than we were a second ago. Our AP has gone up to 52, which is still really low, but is much better than it was just a few seconds ago, and we can be pretty happy with that. So, the next place I'm going to be headed to is the Bloody Monastery. And we might actually go visit the Fogans on the way there, because Fogans are pretty easy to kill. So the reason we go to the Bloody Monastery is because the Bloody Monastery, these cherry trees are absolutely beautiful. The Bloody Monastery is one of the best grinding spots, up to almost level 30, honestly. This is where we will proc the experience buff, and we will spend quite a bit of time leveling here. Now, a few important things to note. I probably should have put that silver back. Don't actually have the weight limit to support this. I haven't bought the weight limit on this character yet. I'm waiting a little while. I'm going to be switching to my other Musa once this guy hits 56. And the Musa already has the 1 weight limit and 1 inventory purchased. But until that point, I will be on this character, and I'm lacking in weight limit for that. Eastern Gateway. Change 50 for 30,000. Oh, that's actually pretty decent money. That'll make me another weapon stone right there. Where is the Eastern Gateway? Honestly, I'm not going to lose too much money just by selling that normally. So we will just continue going this way. So, anyways, like I was saying, back to the silver point. So, basically this game is about getting optimal amounts, so farming silver the most efficient way possible, and then turning that silver into items in the most efficient manner possible. And what that really means is that if you can get a good upgrade, so like I was saying, so 450 million silver, if you can get 20 versus 12 AP, obviously go for the 20 AP. Now, the only place this isn't relevant is, like I was saying, Tet Lavertos and Tet Blue Awakenings, because those will stay on the marketplace for a long time and are kind of, they're not useless, but getting just a try version of those weapons and trying to wait for boss gear is one of the few places I would actually agree that waiting for boss gear is a good idea. So let's just explore over here. But for most items, for example accessories, you generally kind of want to upgrade for the lowest price to the highest amount of AP you can get. I've made a video about this in the past. I've got a spreadsheet that I use to properly figure out how much AP or DP you can gain when using certain accessories. And especially when switching from the Oslo set, because the Oslo set's an amazing set. The Oslo set's problem is that the Oslo set, well, it does get kind of overtaken after a certain point. Are you kidding me? Really? Ugh, I hate this thing. So the Oslo set, yes, it's a great mid-game set, but it's going to be overtaken fairly quickly by decent accessories. If you get, for example, a Tri-Schultz belt, or if you get a Duo Schultz necklace or a Tri-Schultz necklace, if you get Duo or Tri Marks of Shadows, Duo or Tri Witches earrings, Duo or Tri Blue Coral earrings, there are a lot of stuff that kind of overtake the Oslo set fairly easily, especially because the Oslo set doesn't offer any accuracy. Most accessories will offer accuracy, even if it's only between like 6 and 10 accuracy, depending on its upgrade level. The Oslo set, you only get the accuracy as part of the set bonus. So getting the better accessories is a fairly good idea. Personally, how I plan to do it, especially on this character, is I will be going for the Oslo set first, of course, and upgrading my weapons to plus 15, Pri Duo, and possibly even Tri. After that, I will be getting my armor. So once I get to about plus 15 weapons, I'll probably go for Pri. Once I go for plus 15 weapons, I'll go for at least plus 10 armor. I don't need to go higher than that, really. I might even stay at plus 5. And then I will go for Pri or Duo weapons. Then I'll go for the Pri or Duo armor. During that time, I'll try to farm up the Oslo set and just kind of use really cheap accessories like I'm doing now to bridge the gap between normal accessories and the Oslo set. But that is the general plan. So if you talk to this guy over here, he gives you some quests to kill fanatics, which you might as well take just because you're in the area, you're killing them anyways. There's no reason not to take them. So let's just storage all this silver back because there's no reason to keep it. Actually, no, I'll keep it. That way it's more clear what is this character's. What I will do though is go over here and activate my mercenaries experience for an hour. And I believe there's another one for characters below a certain level. Here it is. So just like that, I've got several experience buffs ticking. And while I'm at it, here it is. Only available in a safe zone. Ugh, awful. So, Book of Combat, a lot of people have a tendency to save it. I'm one of those people, but you might as well use it just because otherwise you're just going to have it forever. So I came here probably a level early. I probably shouldn't have come here until level 22. Just because they are a little higher level than I am. I don't exactly have a lot of potions with me. Although I can get more potions, so it's not like that's a real problem. But as you can see, accuracy really factors in. If I was using a higher level of enhancement weapon, if I was using a Zarka especially, if I had better accessories that provide me with more, all of that would allow me to kind of make up for that. Luckily, I don't really need potions because I'm going to level up fairly quickly, and the more I level up, the more I'll start to hit them, the faster I'll kill them, and the faster I'll level up. It feels weird to say it, but yes, the more you level up early game, the faster you level up in zones where you're underleveled, just because it lets you get that crucial accuracy and ignore the accuracy debuff imposed on you by being a lower level. I also have the entire place to myself, which is beautiful. Having the entire place to myself means I can monopolize all of the experience. I can take all of it for myself and just kind of increase the size of my plate. It's well not an expression a lot of you are used to, but oh shoot, a violent cultist warrior. That's not something I want to fight right now. Luckily, at this level, he's merely this strong. There we go. So just, as you can see, like, I'm not really hitting most of the time. When I do hit, I kill. Oh, not kill, but I do a significant damage when I hit. So, just leveling up. If you're below the level for a zone, don't worry too much as long as you're not significantly below level. Between 3 and 5 is fine. Any more than that, as an early game player like I'm currently being, you're going to have problems. If you are an end game player coming back on an alt and you have plenty of good items, accessories, and gear, feel free to go like even 5 or maybe 7 levels below. I've done that in the past. If you have a Zarka especially, it makes it super easy. Oh, and there we go. I leveled up Rising Storm. That's exactly what I was looking to do. Do I level Cyclone Slash? I'm not sure I do. In fact, I don't think I do because I want points for Divider as well. So Divider is the Musa's E skill. It's this. And this is how the Musa regains health. For every good hit with Divider, you regain HP. It's not a skill that you really want to be using to kill things, even though thanks to the fact that it pushes enemies back, it's actually pretty good at that. But it's a good way to regain health, especially later on if you have bad armor and are taking too much damage. And as you can see, I'm kind of leveling fast enough that I don't need to use any of my health pots. And I can just kind of focus on Divider and other spells to keep me healthy. So back to the silver efficiency. So Oscilla set, great early game item. And then I've got the spreadsheet. It's pretty easy to find. I'll probably link it in my about page actually, because it's a pretty useful piece of work. And just using that lets you kind of figure out and map out your planned upgrades. Because once you get to duo weapons, upgrades start to cost you in the tens of millions of silver. Try green weapons are still pretty worth because it's like 10 million silver per AP upgrade. In fact, I think it's actually cheaper than that. It might be like 7 or 8 million. But past that, you're looking at upgrading not to a Tet green, but to a Zarka. For your awakening, you're probably going to upgrade to a tri-blue. Because dandelions are so difficult to get. So once you've gone to tri-green awakening, getting a tri-blue is not a bad idea, especially if you're into PvP, because the tri-blue is equivalent to a duo dandy in PvP. But yeah, so once you get to a certain point, level or AP and DP upgrades are going to be costing you in the tens of millions of silver per upgrade. This is just kind of how the game works. It costs a lot of time and a lot of effort to properly upgrade. Oops, I just got pushed back there. And it makes each upgrade feel much more important. So that's why I kind of don't agree with waiting to get boss armor, waiting to get stuff that will be with you to endgame, like the Zarka. Zarka is a bit of an odd one because Zarka is so easy to get compared to others. But for a lot of stuff, especially boss armor and dandelion, and if you wanted a Kutum, getting those upgrades is really difficult. So I don't agree with just waiting for those, because if you just wait for those, you're going to be waiting a long time if you're unlucky. Even if you're lucky, you could still be waiting a while, and each of them has a pretty high cost too. The Kutum, for example, all boss gear has a base cost of 95 million silver for the unupgraded version. A try will run you about 450 million silver. Oops, I de-aggroed them. Oops, didn't mean to do that, but whatever. So a try will run you about 450 million silver, and that's only if you can get it for the market price. Generally, you will not be able to get it for market price, and you will be forced to get it at an even more expensive price or upgrade it on your own. And really, it's so expensive to do that you really want to upgrade whatever you can, especially because gear in this game matters so much. The difference between 170 AP and 200 AP is immense. The difference between 200 DP and 250 DP is immense as well. The difference between 400 and 450 gear score is also pretty huge. Is that a bush spider? It is. I hate those. Hey, look, S rank knowledge. I'm a genius. So that's why I really disagree. You're going to be looking for as many AP upgrades as you can for as cheaply as possible. Once you're spending 50, 60 million silver per point of AP you want to get, that's the point where you're kind of looking at other options and going, okay, this only costs 20 million silver per AP, let's go with this. This only costs 15 million per DP, let's go with that. And you kind of go from there. So on this character, I might as well outline what I'm going to be doing now. It's going to be pretty obvious once I get to about 45 and hit the Manshaws and Catfishmen. But that is still a fair ways away. I would estimate probably at this character's pace of grinding, another hour and a half, 2 hours, which isn't terrible, honestly. Like, especially because character's pretty much entirely self-found, self-made. Everything he's done is very possible for a new player to do within 2 or 3 days. And if you're only playing a bit each day, then yeah, it's pretty easy. Especially because I haven't used any attendance swords on this character. And new attendance swords are pretty sweet, especially for new and returning players. If you can join a guild, they're even sweeter. Like if I just show you the attendance swords right now. Just the current ones right now. Your first day logged in, you get 10 weapon blackstones. That's like a +8, +9 weapon right there, maybe even +10 if you're lucky. Day 2, 10 armor stones, 10 cron stones. Okay, so you can't really do much with those, just store them in your thing. The memory fragments, I would save them, but if you want to sell them, you'll earn mad money for selling them. Let's see, you get 5 of them, so that's 3.75 million silver, so almost 4 million. Then there's various things once you get to the second week. So you can see like just the few first days are pretty good. The guild, if you join a guild, you'll get similar things for the first few days. And then there's also newbie rewards. So newbie rewards or return player rewards are amazing. Oh my god. They really help a lot. They give you millions of silver. They give you tons of good stuff. And of course, there's also ever-present events. There's using house fame. There's AFK. Like, there's lots of ways to earn money, even as a brand new player. The Black Spirits Adventure, if you choose combat pretty much every time, you will get stuff like Blackstones that are pretty useful. I probably shouldn't ignore it as much as I do. I have bad habits. Like, one of my favorite jokes with my fiance is that the reason she's better than me in a lot of the mobile games we play is because she listens to my advice. I don't take my own advice a lot of the time. Like, if I took my own advice, I probably wouldn't play Musa. Just because Musa, even though it's a lot of fun, isn't very good. A lot of fun, though. So, I mean, if you like Musa, stick with Musa. A lot of fun. Very good at very high AP levels, as I previously discussed. But yeah, so there's lots of ways to earn money to really get your items up to a decent point and to get to really just a decent point of grinding. Like, I'm not using any special items right now. Yes, I've got my pets, but the pets, it's not like they give me any advantages in combat. And realistically, I'm just kind of mowing through these monsters because low-level monsters are easy to kill. Once we get to Manshaws, it'll be a bit more important to upgrade my gear a tiny bit. But by then, I will have earned several million just by playing the game, and it won't be as big a deal. So what level do I want to get here? We're still at Cultist. My next zone, though, is the refugee camp. So I want to get level 32, maybe 33 here. Let's see, am I still earning decent experience? Yes, I am. So in that case, I can just kind of stay like this. You can also see things are starting to fall before my blade pretty easily. While they were standing around being mindless monsters, I studied the blade. Terrible memes. I'm not much of a memer, but I do know my memes, don't worry. Is that a bad thing? Should I be confessing to that? I don't think I should be confessing to that. Let's scratch that from the record, honestly. We'll just pretend it didn't happen. As a history major, that's something I can do a lot. As someone with a terrible average in school, it's something I do even more often. So, Black Desert, so what you're watching right now, is, in the end, a lot of this. You're going to be grinding various monsters a lot. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to be grinding. What do I get mails for? Oh, marketplace sales notification. Okay, because my maple timber sold. And you're going to spend many, many hours doing this. Getting to 60 will take a long time. For a lot of people will be like, no, Lighthouse, 60 doesn't take long. What are you talking about? 60 is easy. You should have played this game. That's where leveling is difficult. It's not a dick measuring contest. It's 60 in this game takes a lot compared to most of the normal Western MMOs. Getting to level 110 in World of Warcraft is, if you know how to do it, fairly easy. Oh, sweet. I finally 100%ed. Okay. That was Musa's 100%. In Black Desert, and in most games like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, you can do like a lot of questing and stuff to level. In Black Desert, you're just going to be grinding different monsters. That's really all there is to it. Because of the combat system, grinding is basically fun, but if you don't like grinding, it's going to be a little difficult for you to get to max level. My Dark Knight, for the most part, has gotten to her current level. This got bugged. Has gotten to her current level by grinding, but she's gained about 30 or 40% towards 60 from 59 purely from processing. The rest was all at Wandering Rogues. She loves Wandering Rogues. I love Wandering Rogues. But yeah, so leveling in this game, it takes a while. You do need to be prepared to put in the time to level. But if you do so, you will be rewarded with power. Like, levels give pretty good power. Getting to level 60 is worth it because, once again, don't take my own advice because I'm bad. But getting to level 60 means you unlock all the skills for your class. You will have every skill available to be invested in at maximum levels. All the awakening skills, all the pre-awakening and absolute skills, they're all available at 60. Just to show a point, yeah, here you go. Required level 60 or higher, required level 60 or higher. Those are two of the Musa's main awakening skills. So getting to 60, pretty important, especially if you're serious about PvP. If you just want a life skill, 60 is not important at all. If you just want a life skill, all that's really important is getting to like 50-ish, just because, well, 49.9, just so you can do Black Spirit quests for inventory spots. And after that, you can just kind of stop, because after that, you don't really need anything else for life skilling. You can just wander the wide world. Alright, so we're pretty close to 32. Oh, Black Spirit's Rage again. I honestly hate the Musa's pre-awakened Black Spirit's Rage. Do I not have Blooming yet? Suppose not. Hey, Dragon Bite 3 was unlocked. Alright, back to the horse. Sheath the blade. Actually, that's a lot of you. We'll kill you all. Then we'll sheath the blade. Alrighty, so the next place I'll be going is to the refugee camp. Now, the refugee camp is... it's near Caltheon, which you want to go to anyways. And if you really want to, you could make a stop off in Karuta Cave. If I'd wanted to, at level 30, maybe even a bit earlier, probably level 28. No, probably level 30. I could have gone over to the Karuto Den. So there's two real places that you can do this next bit of leveling. The Karuto Cave, level 34 to 36, or the refugee camp, 35 to 37. They're both fairly similar, and they're both pretty good places to level. You want to level to about 39, 40 before you go over to Marnie's lab over here, just off in the west. Because this is where you fight chimeras until you're like level 47, 48, and then you can go off to Manshaw's. Don't forget to turn in these quests here. I mean, we did them for a reason. And, yeah. So, next up, the refugee camp. Karuta Cave, a lot of people prefer the Karuta Cave because it's got a fairly simple rotation, but I prefer refugee camp because it's a little closer to Caltheon. You can go there, you can get a bit closer, and you can drop some stuff off. Anyways, guys, I'll end this episode here, and I'll pick up next time over near the refugee camp. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have a good one.